Hello, I'm Jaya Chamarthi from IELTS Guru. Today here we are to discuss more about IELTS. Let us first understand what is IELTS. IELTS. IELTS is International English Language Testing System. This is widely accepted, or I can say as world's most popular exam that is accepted for universities or global immigration. Now, who should take this exam? IELTS is taken by students who are preferring to go to higher education or for people who want to migrate to the other countries. Where can you take the test? We have many centers across the globe again to give the test. Who will accept this test? This is widely accepted across the globe, and all the students who want to pursue higher education will give the test. Now, is this an easy exam to give by everybody? As is testing English proficiency, I say yes, it's easy. At the same time, you should be prepared to give the test. Without preparation or enough practice, you cannot crack the test. That's where IELTS is a bit difficult as compared to the rest of the examinations. Though we have some English proficiency tests which are parallel to this, IELTS is a bit complicated as compared to the rest of the test, I can say. Now, what all do you have to learn in IELTS, or what kind of modules will be checked in IELTS? There are 4 modules that you'll have to do in IELTS. All these 4 modules cover the total English. They check different task types. By giving different task types, they check your ability or the command on the language. As I was telling, IELTS is taken by both the students as well as the people who are going for immigration. Is it the same exam for both of them? In IELTS, again, we have 2 modules, or I must say 2 types. One is the academic and the other one is general. Students who are going for higher education will have to give the academic module, while the general students who are going for higher education have to give the academic module, while people who are opting for immigration should give the general module. Is the test throughout the same again for both of them? No, there are some variations. First of all, IELTS is having 4 modules. It's listening, reading, writing and speaking. Now, while listening and speaking are common for both academic students and general students, writing and reading varies with the kind of content you have to work on. Otherwise, it's the same. And now, what is the length or the duration for the test? This test goes for about 2 hours 40 minutes. You will have to give all the 3, that is your listening, reading and writing module on the same day, one after the other without a break, while the speaking alone is a face-to-face interview that you'll have to give with an interviewer. So, this 2 hours 40 minutes is again same for both IELTS academic students and general students. Recently again, there is a variation in the type of test you take again. This is initially it was, IELTS began with paper-based, but recently they have come up with CDT, that is computer designed, or it's called computer-based test. Now, this is only to give a comfort zone to the test takers. So, you can opt either of the module, whether you can go for paper-based or you can take CDT, that is computer-delivered test, as per your comfort. Now, again, whether you give paper-based or computer-delivered test, it's the same length. That is, the duration is same, 2 hours 40 minutes. And the pattern of the exam that is conducted is going to be first the test begins with listening, followed by reading and then writing. Okay, so it's one after the other. The sequence is same for everybody across the globe. And there is no break given in between, especially for paper-based. And while you're taking the CDT module, in case you want to take a break for an emergency, you can take, that's going to be at your cost. They're not going to give you an additional time to again cover up the time you have used to go out. So this you must just keep in your mind. And now when I say paper-based and CDT, is it the same? The evaluation part is the same for both of them, while the results that are given to you varies again. The results for the paper-based takes about 13 business days or 15 days, whichever is first, and the CDT takes about 3 to 5 days. So I can say like CDT is a quicker process to give your result. And when it comes to speaking, it's same for both paper-based and CDT. You'll have to do one-on-one interview with the examiner. It's going to be either one day prior or later. Generally, for CDT, it's going to just be one day. When it is paper based, it's going to be a weeks before they intimate you about the slot given to you. While you have a choice to choose the date to give your main exam, that is listening, reading and writing, speaking module time is mentioned by them. That is, they are going to give you the time and venue as per the number of students that are those are taking the test. While the time is same for both of them, when it comes to speaking module, actually speaking module date and venue is only given by the council. You have a choice to select your test date, but for speaking, it's they who give your date. Especially for CDT, maybe you had a choice to select the date even for speaking before. But because of this COVID season now, the date is declared only by them. And this they'll intimate you at least a week before. So this is all about the test pattern and the duration that you'll have to spend for IELTS exam. When it comes to the bookings, paper-based, you'll have to book in much in advance because for academic students, they have 4 slots per month, but for general students, it's only 2 slots per month. Whereas for CDT, you have several dates available across the week. So almost you have 5 days per week and 2 or 3 slots depending on the demand of the students. So there are multiple slots available for you to book your slots, and as per your convenience, you can go ahead. Paper-based, yes, you'll have to book in well in advance, and then they will be sending a material for your preparation. They'll be sending, like, if you're giving through British Council, they send to you a road to IELTS, which will help you in your practice. Is this material only sufficient for your practice? Yes, that is going to give you an idea about how the test is and the pattern of the test, but all said and done, without enough preparation and having the tips and strategies, it's quite difficult to crack the test. That is where you'll have to go through some training or rigorous practice, that will help you to crack your exam. You may have a question in your mind that when it's only English, then why should we prepare so much, which we have been maybe studying throughout our education all these years? Why is it so difficult to crack the test? I agree that it is only English, but different skills are tested in each module. Therefore, unless you understand the skills and the tips and strategies to crack, it's a bit difficult, as there is a kind of maybe a score that is required for you. There is no pass and fail in this exam here. It's only depending on the university you're choosing or the country you are opting to go, you'll have to get the required bands. There is a cutoff for you that you'll have to score or target for. That is what you need to achieve. For example, most of the universities ask for students to get about 6 bands, an average of 6.5 overall and 6 per each module. Whereas when it comes to the immigration people or for migration, there is a cutoff, like, especially if you're looking for Canada, it is 8,777. So you need to get 8 in listening and 777 in the rest 3 modules. So this is the cutoff, and even in one module you go with 0.5 less, definitely it's going to hamper your process. Okay, definitely it's going to hamper your process. So let us say in reading you have got only 6.5 and the rest thing you could get 8 and all, but still you will have to retake the exam. The next question you might have is, now how many times can we retake the exam, or how frequently can we take? Is there any gap that we need to maintain? That's the best part I must say about IELTS. There is no hard and fast rule that you must take only this many number of times. You can take n number of times, but you must make sure that you get in less numbers, that is maybe once or twice. What happens when you go for more number of test fields, that is, again, it may have an effect on your confidence levels. The more number of times you take, the less confident you're going to be. So it has to be, you need to see that you crack it in just one go, or at the most the second time. Okay, so this is the score that you have to target and keep in your mind and start practicing. Now, what happens when you practice by yourself? You'll be able to understand the pattern of the test, and you'll be able to know where you stand and how much score you're able to get in your reading and listening especially. But when it comes to writing and speaking, unless somebody else is going to assess you, it's very difficult for you to understand where you are and how much you got to improve. Okay. Now, even in your listening and reading module, when we correct our answers by ourselves, we may be a little liberal, and then give a mark even there is a single spelling mistake, or it could be about an article missing or an additional article that you have included, or any bit that you have additionally added to your answer. You may be a little liberal by just eliminating that and then giving a mark for yourself. Now, when it comes to the examiners, they're not going to do that. They're going to be very stringent in giving the bands. So even there's a single spelling mistake or an article that's added unnecessarily, you will be losing your score, and no doubt about it. So this is where again the training will help you, or whoever is your instructor, they help you in guiding you to understand where exactly are you losing and what you need to do to improve on your score. Now moving to the practice session. When it comes to speaking and writing. Speaking, yes, you may be speaking excellent English, very fluently, but again, just simple sentences may not be helpful when it comes to speaking and writing. So you need to use a range of sentence structures that's going to help you to crack your test. In the same manner, even for writing, it's not just testing your writing skills randomly, but they have a criteria that is required for you to target and then aim to get your required bands. Okay. Now, when we are talking about this criteria, you may have, what could be the criteria here? I can just tell you, like, they keep looking at a variety of sentence structures which comes under grammar, including tenses and all. And it could be about the vocabulary, the wide range of vocabulary you acquire there. And it could be about, the response that you're giving, whether it's specifically targeting the question type or not, including with the logical connectivity or the logical sequencing of the information that you are writing there. So there's so many components invisible to you when you are doing the test, which is maybe understood only when you will be trained well or understand well what the examiner's demand is for you to get your required bands. So this is what you have to look for, and that is going to help you to get your required bands. Now, the next question you may have is, what is the toughest module in all the four? Generally, at a glance, when you practice one test, maybe reading would be the toughest module because you have to read for 1 hour and then write your answers. But in general, most of the students fail to get their required score in writing module. Because as I told you, it's an invisible component which we don't realize unless somebody assesses us. So that is where we must work. In general, I can say it is both reading and writing that most of the students face a difficulty in. The rest modules is maybe you can manage by understanding and then working it out. Now, those who are fluent in English and are able, have done their education in English, it's easy to do the speaking module. But again, a lot of students who have the other medium of teaching in schooling might find speaking as well as a difficult module, because you need to speak as the examiner asks you. You are not given any time for preparation except for a part of it. The rest all you have to speak instantly. You need to give prompt answers over there. So that is one area, again, some of the students might find it difficult.